North Korea has the...
Let's see.
You can push it further back.
Start it?
Yeah.
Not only
How many people are watching?
Not only will do it.
Okay.
If you want her here, we're doing.
Okay, come here, please.
Can I answer though while you're should be off air when they're
Yeah, you can do it out there.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Whatever you want to do.
That's right, Maggie.
Hello.
I'm looking at my picture there. Yes. We can turn it around and show you if you like.
No.
No. Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe for a second.
We're on the radio.
We're on the radio. We're getting ready to talk. And... Okay, so well, we're recording, so no surprises. Or it's all surprises.
Whatever you like. Just we'll roll.
Okay.
We won't swear.
You want to swear?
I'll swear. I'm gonna swear.
Heck no.
So I can play whatever I want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do anything you want.
And what are the other guitars? Not to get. We're not.
They signed it, and then Allison's putting the block.
Oh, okay. Okay, we got about just a minute.
Hey guys, on
The
Facebook.
people are commenting as it happens. It's funny.
Yeah.
Well, let's read
Oh,
some of
somebody's
these.
requesting
Please swear. Okay.
Just has to
Tarnation.
Say we all look good. It's true. This is
Everyone
the
wants us to swear.
this
We're
is
getting
the-
a lot
this
of.
is the best. This is the best we've looked in one of these things, and the best lighting in this room. Usually, the Facebook Live things look like.
It's a Shure microphone.
prison
And you
break
can say-
Shure.
video.
It's a Shure brand microphone. For the person who asked.
Yes,
Can you ask Caitlin to share?
I believe
the
it's an
Facebook Live?
SM
Sure. Oh, sorry.
SM7.
Is that right? SM7?
Yeah, it's just like a 58, except it's
It's in a
yeah.
cylindrical form.
It has a better. What's that? Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Are we on the air?
we got some sort of
You got to hit the green.
feedback. This is live. We need.
Hey, we're on the radio.
There we go. Yeah, turn it down a little bit more, Mike. Our engineer here. There we go, live.
Go, Mike.
This is what happens when it's live.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Living on the edge.
We are so happy to have John Flansburgh and John Linnell. They Might Be Giants joining me in Master Control this afternoon. Tonight is a show over at the Newport at 8 o'clock, or doors are at 8, rather. We'll have some tickets to give away, and they are doing a Facebook Live. Say hi.
We are, yes, yes. We're getting a lot of responses.
Yeah.
Everybody wants you to swear.
They
yeah.
want us to
Well, we
swear,
were talking.
yeah.
We were mentioning that we would not swear,
Okay.
and that was disappointing.
You know, we're talented. We don't have to work blue.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in our fans, actually.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started. We just heard the lead-off single with I Left My Body. And, well, there's a special video contest going on, right?
Yeah, we've done these things periodically where we basically sort of solicit videos from anybody, you know, and it's been actually a very good way to kind of connect with young directors who are ambitious and like-minded as us, and we've actually worked on other videos with people who've won contests later on. We just did a video with this guy Alex Italics, which I don't think is his real name. He did, what was the original? I guess he did a video for a song called Am I Awake? That was a video contest.
Right.
And since then, he's now in some like fancy film school, and we ended up doing a song recently called The Greatest with Nick Offerman from Parks and Recreation was starring in it. And so it actually is something that I think people there is a culture of people who are very anti-contest. They're like, you know, just hire young, talented artists, and it's like, well, I don't want to sift through the, 5,000 hypothetical great ideas. You know, it's for us, it's we do It's $3,000. We're paying $3,000. It's prize money, baby. Get in the show.
Well, yeah. Tell us about who does the judging. What are the rules and what's the deadline?
Oh, it's like March 1st or 2nd or something. Oh, this hip hop guy from Los Angeles named Open Mike Eagle is going to be judging it. We don't judge it ourselves because we don't want people to hate us or stalk us. It's like, why didn't you like my video?
Right.
I'm at your
I just want to know why.
Right. Just tell me why. Just tell me why. What was wrong with it? Because it was perfect.
So then, I mean, there's some great prizes, right? As you mentioned, there's.
Oh well, and there's cash money. I mean, there's a $2,000 runner-up prizes, and then you get some video. There's a company called Red Giant that does video graphics that you get a bundle of stuff that costs thousands of dollars, so you can make things explode behind you as you walk away.
Well, it is. They Might Be Giants joining us. We're talking about the new album. Well, the new video contest right now.
Yep.
But the new album. It's their 20th studio full-length release. And
It sounds ridiculous when you say it, but it's true.
Are you calling me ridiculous?
No.
No.
I'm saying that this is our
Saying our
20th album.
career is ridiculous.
It sounds like a lie. It's like, yeah, they're 1 million years old, and
Right. We're being visited by dinosaurs in the studio today.
Well, look at our equipment.
Right,
You're right at home there, right?
We've got Tyrannosaurus Rex on guitar.
No,
yeah,
it's true. This is our 20th album, but
Well, you were talking about.
and we put a ton of work into all 20 of them.
Right.
That's the other thing. They're real albums. They're not like drawings that we did, like in art class or something.
No.
Here's my album.
But talk about you mentioned stalkers. You don't want that to happen, and
no, not again.
Well, being 30 plus years together out there, tell us about the wildest, wackiest, creepiest, scariest.
Well, actually, we've had a couple of different experiences in right here at
The Newport Music Hall.
Newport Music Hall. I mean, many things have happened. The very first time I ever saw crowd surfing and moshing was at one of our shows at the Newport. It was in the spring of 1991, I believe, and it was just like grunge rock was in full bloom, and that was really a sight to behold. And then
we had a catastrophic blackout at one show, memorably, and I think we played, even though the room was pitch dark and there was no PA, we just played some songs on acoustic instruments, terrified, hoping a hand wouldn't grab our ankles or.
It was. I think a lot for a lot of our listeners, they hear the words blackout and they think something they don't think electricity, but it was basically one quarter of the city.
As well.
Right,
yeah.
1/4 of the city just lost power. It wasn't just the club; it was everything was gone. And what was especially scary was that the exit signs that are supposed to stay on, to guide you through the blackout, they weren't on either. There was zero light in the room, so it was very, very strange. It actually took many seconds to just adjust to. It was a perfectly black room.
So this was in Columbus as well.
This
was at the Newport.
At the Newport.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah. It happens.
We played here a lot. I think.
And we had a tour manager of ours do some fire breathing on stage live. That was exciting.
Which we found out later was not cool.
Yeah.
With the club, they were like, flames in a theater are not cool.
Did all the fire water?
Nothing happened. It was uneventful. It was just thrilling and looked really
Although,
cool.
as I recall, I was like across the stage and I could feel the heat.
You could feel the heat and smell the gasoline.
So it was
gasoline stuff.
It was a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't all die.
We were stupid back then in our 40s.
Yeah.
We've learned much more since then.
Yeah.
Now, this was your manager that came out?
It was our
tour manager. Yeah.
His name was Brennan. He's a
Maori guy with a tattooed face.
He has tattoos on his face.
He was a professional fire breather in a previous life.
Yeah.
But
He
he
was
didn't
very
surprise you. You knew.
Oh no, it was all planned.
Yeah.
It was all planned. We thought it would be a great idea.
Yeah, that's the dumb part.
Yeah.
Anything special planned in that vein of things?
We're getting tattoos on our face tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna do some fire breathing tonight.
Okay, cool.
Don't tell anyone.
It's actually, there's a tremendous utility to having a tour manager who has tattoos on their face because walking into any negotiation, people are immediately just like, cowering.
But, that's
like,
not a bad
yeah,
thing to have.
yeah. He's a totally sweet guy.
And, okay, so the show is tonight. Doors are at 8 o'clock. We'll do a ticket giveaway. We're going to play a couple more songs this afternoon. It's I Like Fun, the brand new album, and they just, you're on a 50-city U.S. tour.
Yep. We're right in the middle of it. I do want to say we're going to be on stage. We're doing 2 sets. There's no opener. It's an evening with They Might Be Giants, and it's we're on at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So you can calibrate your caffeine accordingly. A lot of times people hear like 8 o'clock doors and they think like we'll be on at 10 or 11 or something crazy late. So that's not what's happening.
Good to know. 9 o'clock sharp. They Might Be Giants tonight at the Newport. And we'll do a ticket giveaway coming up, and we'll talk more. What do you think we should play? Am I just going to... Well, first, they're doing a Facebook Live, so check their Facebook.
We got 207 people.
What are some of the comments? You want to read?
Woohoo! Wonderful Pensacola show. Love ya. Hey, John and John. Canada needs you too. Please come north for a few shows. Yeah. I don't know. We'd like to go to Canada.
We love Canada.
We do love Canada, but Canada doesn't love us. Just that one Canadian person.
Just that one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll play it safe here and get back to the song. It's the lead off track. Let's get this over with.
Yes.
Oh, great.
How about it? Here we go.
Let's hear it.
I think it was beeping.
What's that cricket?
What is that cricket?
In the log like 8 of the last 9 shows in a row. It's gone off.
What is it?
Every show. There's uninterrupted power supply that thinks the power is being uninterrupted, so it beeps.
Oh. Huh.
And
it's making a sound, that's for sure.
There.
Hasn't gotten to it yet.
All right, everybody.
Show Maggie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maggie,
there she is.
There you are.
Hi.
That's our DJ Maggie. What's your last name, Maggie?
Brennan.
Brennan. Is that are you
Irish.
on the air? Or are you just?
Am I what? Don't mess with me, buddy.
Irish.
Next question.
I wasn't going to ask if you were Irish.
Okay, that's enough.
It was just is that your air name? I was going to
No,
say.
that's my real deal.
Actual
Right. Okay.
Margaret Rose Brennan.
Right. Oh, that is Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
I'm very proud of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
We
guys.
love your analog board. It reminds me of the 70s.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's from the 70s.
Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of it. It's a
old
classic.
school.
What is the actual name of that kind of board? 'Cause I feel like, what is it?
Mike will tell you.
It's Broadcast Audio Corporation.
Broadcast Audio Corporation. A back.
And look at this
Back.
one.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I'm surprised you don't
It's
have
the 70s.
I'm surprised you don't have a cart machine. I see you still have the cart rack
We do have
But
cart
no-
machines.
Oh, it's been repurposed.
as like a mailbox.
So,
We
yeah.
stick
Yeah,
your
there's some
Little
carts.
sticky pads
Oh, okay.
sticky pads and you can put
some
your.
calculators.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
For when we do our fundraising.
Nice.
So They Might Be Giant fans who want to donate to our cause.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
We'll put in a word.
Don't
You know,
guys
pledge
love
time.
public
Pledge
radio?
time comes only once per show.
Only once per live Facebook Live event.
So we get
Good.
we get advantage of that right now.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, check it out.
All right,
guys.
Pay some bills. We're paying some bills.
Taking a pause for the cause.
If you want something old, there you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
is that real?
Yeah.
I thought that was fake when you put
So,
that on. Like,
yeah.
that's totally fake, right?
This is a scale problem for the.
Here's a hand for scale.
There you go. Yeah, that ain't right. Okay. All right.
Isn't that wild?
This thing works pretty well. This little dish that Scott has.
Yeah, it's nice. More contra alto.
It'll be fine.
You got it.
If not, I'll just go out. If you'd rather me go out.
It's our lovely assistant, Melanie.
Yes, the greeter at the door. Office manager.
All right.
We learned this, right? We haven't played it.
Let's get this over with. It is another track from I Like Fun, the brand new one from They Might Be Giants, and we are in the studio with John Flansburgh and John Linnell. So happy to have them here and have them take the time out of their day to chat with us. And
Oh, Maggie Rose, it's great to be here.
Margaret Rose
Yes.
Brennan.
Margaret Rose Brennan.
So I understand you have some you have a ongoing fundraising concern, and we are here to ask They Might Be Giants fans to
contribute.
That's beautiful.
Take a look, think about it.
We like to
pay money.
tell some of our folks, although you may believe that WCBE stands for "We're constantly broke every day."
Right. You would think that.
Nice incorporation of the W.
We should let's show the Facebook fans the
Flansburgh?
can flip it. Yeah.
Flip it there. Yeah.
Where's the flippy?
The camera.
But they can donate at
Check out
WCBE.org. Yeah.
70s era.
Oh, here. Sorry.
Board.
There we go.
And then there's the telephone from the 70s. And this wooden thing
It's like an
is
episode of Kojak.
it really is.
We need some suckers.
I've got some more questions for you about the crime.
But thank you for helping us try to raise money. I'm sure you guys are big fans of public radio.
We are. We basically live inside public radio when we're not on the road.
I'm just upset that Terry Gross got rid of that theme.
The theme?
Yeah, she just goes right in now. No more crazy jazz music from New York City at the top of Fresh Air. Wow!
Isn't that funny how you get used to something?
It's a quiet little change.
I'll tell you, I missed the All Things Considered theme from the 70s. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember it.
The one that went like...
It was all synth. It was all synths. The original one that my mom listened to.
Yeah.
It was like... Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, it's a beautiful...
And I'm like so sad they don't use that now.
Yeah.
Aw, we should request to bring it back.
On occasion, they have played it.
Yeah.
I have heard it on the air.
I wonder who did that originally.
Yeah.
You know?
Where is he now? He or
Where
she?
is she now? Well, take us back to over 30 years, if
Yep.
you will. And when
What would you like to know about the Eisenhower administration?
How about just when the two of you crossed paths?
We went to high school together, and actually we met before high school.
Yeah.
We went to grade school together in Lincoln, Massachusetts.
Yep.
And we assumed at the time that the whole world was a left-leaning, anti-Nixon paradise, and we were disabused of this fact as we left high school and entered the world. We were like, wow, some people really like Nixon. That was weird.
I remember coming to New York City from Boston, and one of the first weeks I was there, and talking to somebody, and it was like, the whole New York-Boston rivalry, and they were just like, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, my whole life I thought Boston and New York in some ways were. I mean, I guess it was like the Red Sox, Yankees. The Yankees certainly loom large among Red Sox fans, but But maybe not as large among Yankees fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that just sort of turns into a whole idea in Bostonians' minds that they're living in a major metropolis, and I think people in New York just are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Good luck. See you in Philly.
Because on the outside, from being elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As baseball goes, anyway.
Yeah. Well, it sort of crosses into just general perceptions, but.
Wow. So you were first in Boston.
Yeah, we became friends in Boston, and John's a year older, so everything was sort of. When we were kids, we weren't in any classes together. We just were in the same school. Okay. And then in high school, we both worked on the paper together, and there was a huge sort of hive of kids who were. It was like a clique.
Self-involved.
It was like a clique of the same way that drama club is like this hive of activity and friendships, and there's a whole bunch of people in that group. That I feel like in some ways are sort of super formative in the way They Might Be Giants works. It's they were kind of our first audience.
We're still playing to that crowd.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
We're just trying to get a response out of those guys. Right. But I went to college in Ohio. John was in a band in Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, talk about Ohio.
Ohio.
You were.
I was yeah.
Yellow Springs.
I went to Antioch for 2 years or a year and a half, and I was in a band with a friend of ours from high school, Dan Spock, whose grandfather was Dr. Benjamin Spock, not Mr. Spock.
Not Mr. Spock.
But also a famous Spock, and we had a dance band in college.
And you went to Dayton and places.
Yeah, we actually played out. We
Mm.
played professionally. We played at a place called Uncle Sam's in Dayton, which was later called Sam's, that I think is still there. We made $400. I think $400 the first time we played there. And I made this calculation, and I was like, okay, if you could play 5 days a week, and you made $400, and it was like, this is going to be the best job of all time. And
I felt like your time in Ohio was actually weirdly formative, because there's a song of yours which mentions Xenia, for example.
Yeah. It's a it was a very heady time. I mean, just playing for an audience like that was like completely mind-bending.
So $400.
Oh yeah, a lot of people showed up.
That was a lot of money in those days.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're just starting out.
The bar gave us all the money that came through the door. That's quite a deal, for a band. It's like, we're going to give you 100%. What do you think? It's like, fine.
Great.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So then you reconnected.
Yes.
The two of you.
We both wound up in Brooklyn in the early '80s, and I was in a band that played out of Providence, Rhode Island. So we were the new wave band in Providence called the Mundanes, and we got to open for all the national new wave acts that came through. So that was we hung out with the Ramones and the Talking Heads, and that was crazy.
That's
and then
crazy.
They were pros.
Yeah, we were a professional band.
I actually, in an interview recently, I referred to the Mundanes very casually as a skinny tie band. And just in the same way that like people in
totally accurate.
Well, but I felt like it was like from a distance, it might seem like an incredibly cruel thing.
No, it was totally. I was the one guy with a fat tie, but everybody else absolutely wore skinny ties.
Right, and it was the skinny tie moment. I mean, that was the
yeah.
sort of the general scene.
Yeah.
But new wave was fully alive, and so we basically started work. We lived in the same apartment building and would make recordings together. I had a tape recorder and John had a Moog synthesizer, which is sort of like a good part.
That was enough to start with. Yeah.
So that was like our little booster home recording thing.
I think we had some maracas.
Yeah. But it was before. What's odd now, in retrospect, is that it was before the invention of drum machines. And as a duo, if we really relied on drum machines for our sound. I mean, that was the
We
first.
basically have stayed together all this time in anticipation of drum machines, the internet, all these things that later became incredibly useful, specifically for us. We had to just wait for years. They'd only been around when we started.
Yeah.
So this new album, the studio album,
Yep.
takes you back to familiar territory from.
Yeah, we recorded Flood in 1990, which was like our major label album, and it has Birdhouse and Symbol and a lot of the things that, like, people who barely know who They Might Be Giants are, the only thing they know is that. And we made it with these British hit makers, Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley, and but it was recorded in New York in this very fancy studio that was run partly owned by Nile Rodgers, called Skyline, and since then, it's been, for a while it was run by the Russian mob, which was an exciting time yes, and then it's been sort of resurrected recently, and it's now called Reservoir, but it's essentially the same place, and it was just really interesting and fun to be back kind of full time at this place. I have nothing but like really good memories of hanging out in the lounge of Skyline with CNC.
We were in the lounge of Skyline when the Berlin Wall came down, just to give you some historical perspective.
Right, all sorts of things were happening.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that's the first time you had been back since.
We've been back when the Russian mob owned it.
We periodically
for a very
gone
brief. We'd sort of pop in and see what condition its condition was in, but it was always kind of like in decline. The studio scene in New York City has been pretty bad for a long time. So to have a studio actually kind of be fully renovated and brought back up into something glorious is very different, and that's what's happening with the Reservoir.
I see the phone ringing. I forgot to do that ticket.
Oh,
giveaway.
contest?
Let's do it. Caller number 5. What do you say?
Caller number 500.
614.
Let's see those phones light up, people.
3655711. So how do you guys? I mean, it's really a gift to take so much.
Such bad ideas and turn them into songs.
No, to bring so much happiness out of so much
misery.
And
that's an very interesting point. The album is called "I Like Fun," and yet the astute will notice that the themes on the songs are pretty dark. which was not a plan. We were not like, let's make our death album this time. This is just the collection of songs that we thought hung together, and of the 30 or so songs that we'd written, these were the ones that kind of hung together the best for the album. And it is a surprisingly dark set of lyrics, although there's some happy melodies and poppy songs in there as well.
Yeah, it's like a gift to be able to do that. Kind of like the comedians out there when they're trying to lighten up about some very dark things.
I think that a lot of what's funny for us is like what amuses you often is like addressing the scary or sad thing in some way that makes it digestible. So I mean that's a like an evergreen thing for us.
And there is something kind of joyous just baked into music making that I feel like you're almost kind of tempering what's like ecstatic about just what music is. I mean, it's not, even the most serious music has a celebratory quality to it. Like there's something about it's a performance. It's got this magical quality. It stands on its own. I mean, music is a really powerful thing, and you can't, no matter what, death trip bummer you apply to it, it's still like it's got a positive charge to it. And I feel like it's almost impossible to diminish that. You can't. It's just music is good.
They Might Be Giants. It's John Flansburgh and John Linnell joining us here in Master Control this afternoon.
Is that the name of your show?
No, the name of the show is The Global Village.
Oh, okay.
This
okay.
is Master.
I like
okay,
Master.
okay.
I love that.
There should be a show called that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll switch it. AKA. Global Village. And let's do another ticket giveaway for caller number 600 this time around.
Yes.
821-9223. Do you guys remember the first song you wrote together and kind of...
Ooh, I don't know.
I think Cowtown was has to have been the...
you may recall, like we spent when I was in this other band.
Oh right.
Flans, I think maybe was.
Oh God, those are bad.
We did a lot of recordings, and of course we did recordings even in high school. We did. I don't know if you call them songs, but we did these sort of recording assemblage things that were just completely experimental and insane sounding.
We did a Yoko Ono song called "Don't Worry, Kyoko."
That's right. Yeah.
That in high school, that was a cover of a Yoko.
We did a cover of that song, which I think the B-52s subsequently covered, which is really weird when you consider that.
Really?
Were you aware of that? Yeah.
No.
They did a version. They did a version of that song as well.
The B-52s.
Many years later. Yeah.
We're onto something.
We were there first.
Right. Why do they keep stealing our ideas?
Actually, Yoko was there first. We were just the second.
Well, it's been a great pleasure. Really, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks so much, Maggie.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a blast. Unless do you got to go? Do you want to play another song?
We'll play another song, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. We'll hang out.
Are you ready to get rid of me?
We got 198 people on Facebook. That's pretty much the threshold.
That's about 10 down from where we started. So only a few people have left.
It's climbing back up.
All right. What about an insult to the fact checkers?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
It's a more personal song than it's basically just a I hate you kind of rock song. It's not a political commentary. The title came long before the era in which we live. So I think there have been larger insults to fact checkers since this song was started.
All right, we'll do another ticket giveaway, one last pair to give away coming up, and we'll chat just a bit more with John Flansburgh and John Linnell coming up.
So, Maggie, for the people on Facebook, I want to ask you some more questions.
You're gonna ask me?
How long you've been on the air now?
I've been on the air. Well, I just started interning
10
here
in the morning.
Since 10.
Yeah.
10 this morning.
You started on the air.
I don't want to take away your
Okay, yeah,
music.
that's fine. No, that's fine.
I started interning back in 1994, so I've been here half my life now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And when you interned, did you have aspirations to be a DJ?
After I almost puked by doing the live calendar for a DJ at the time, I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Like the arts calendar.
Yeah. The event's coming up tonight.
Right.
And then I'm like, ooh, I almost puked. It must be meant to be.
Right. And so now but this is like a 3-hour show every day, right?
Yes.
And is that all on you?
Yeah.
That's a lot of heavy lifting.
You know, I love it.
Are you just spinning records most of the time, or do you have like continuous interviews? Or
well, if I'm fortunate enough, I have guests like you every day.
But
that doesn't happen every day.
Oh, stop.
No. So we have the bands play over there, which we call Live from Studio A. But we play, sometimes vinyl appears, but we still play CDs here.
Right.
We don't have the digital hookup.
Right.
And
Although what's good about the digital hookup is that you can program a show, like you can really go out to lunch and have it still seem like you're very much on the air.
Exactly.
With those things, because you can just pre-record a bunch of little things.
Yeah, but I like to answer the phone.
You
I
like
like to talk
here.
to our people.
Of course. But I mean, if you really need to go to lunch
or something else.
Right.
That's a 10-minute song.
Right. And you don't want to play Freebird again.
No.
Right.
No, not so much.
Right. No. It's all about the live. It's all about and the community thing.
Yeah,
but,
it is. And so, to have digital things, and as you've shown your fans, the equipment we have here. So, thank you again for urging folks,
of course,
to help us out. WCBE.org.
That just
good
comes
call
out.
Back.
You just say
I know, it just flows.
Yeah.
24 years,
Yep. We're back.
We're back.
My big face.
All right. Another track from They Might Be Giants, and insult to the fact checkers. And the show is tonight over at the Newport. Doors are at 8 o'clock. They go on at 9 o'clock sharp. And we'll take call-in number 700 this time.
All right.
Oh,
Maggie, I had one other thing I wanted to say about the Newport, and this doesn't happen anymore there, but it was shocking the first time we played there. If you've been there, there's a big balcony that's very high above the sort of the general area that the audience is in, and then the stage is kind of in the middle. The very first time we played there, it was all beer bottles, and at the end of the night, the bouncers did this thing. The security guys, they're called security guys, right?
Yeah.
Please don't hit me.
The workers.
The bar staff and the security staff took all the beer bottles in the balcony and just threw them onto the floor of the place. And it was the most chaotic, insane, just like, smashing, breaking glass, dozens of bottles over and over again. And we're on stage, I could have loading our equipment. And it's just like, hey guys, there are people here.
This predated the Rage Room idea by many years.
So, hence the plastic bottles.
Plastic was, we were all, normally, we're more into the environmental friendly reuse, recycle, renew thing. But in this case, it's like, love the plastic. Plastic's great.
Yeah.
So tell us about Dial a Song for
Dial a
folks
Song.
that don't know.
Yes,
it's back.
Dial a Song is back. It started in 1983, I think.
83, 84. Well, it was when I got my own apartment, so whenever that was.
Right. And it used to be an old-fashioned phone machine, like one that you'd see here in this studio. We owned 4 or 5 of them at the peak because they kept breaking down. But they were a machine in your home with a cassette in it with a They Might Be Giants song playing on the outgoing message. And that was our system for a while of what do you call it? Like workshopping all our material for years. Our brand new stuff, demos would come out on Dial a Song, and then we kind of decide, well, this is good enough for the album, or this one should die and disappear forever. So we did that pretty much through the 80s.
Yeah.
And then
even through the 90s, I think we were sort of afraid of getting called out for selling out if we ever stopped it. Although it was we really paid as little attention as possible to it at a certain point, because we were making records and we just thought, we'll just focus on the stuff that, the big time stuff. But what's interesting is that since the internet kind of swooped into everyone's lives, it's changed the way people experience music in such a basic way. We would come out with albums, and then a week later, people would be like, "So what's next?" And it was like, it's just like, we just worked 2 years on this thing. Like, this is going to be what's next for a while. Like, can we have some say in what the priorities are here? Like, listen to this record. But you can't change the world that way. Like, you can't demand that people experience stuff monolithically. And everything's, now that things have moved to social networks, it just seems like posting a song every week is a much more interesting and active way to be in people's lives. I mean, it's just, and that's exactly what Dial Song is now. It's a song service where we have a new song up every week. There's a little video for it, and people take it in kind of in a casual, just like a distraction from work kind of way.
Yeah, they're the latest being what? The greatest?
The greatest was last week. Yesterday is Jackie the Clipper.
Jackie the Clipper was the newest one.
Yeah, which is
and there'll be like 40 something more.
Yeah.
For throughout the year. So yeah, it's this episodic thing. Now that people binge watch TV, they can episode listen to us instead of binge listening, which they used to do.
And let's talk a little bit about tonight. The show starts right at 9. Doors are at 8 o'clock. Get there early. And we'll do one last ticket giveaway. Yes, one last one, I think. Yeah, we're good to go on that. And so tonight at the show, do you guys, do you already know what you're going to play and perform?
Pretty much. We have a new setup, which is we've got a trumpet player we've added. So it's a 6-piece. It's our regular 5-piece. 2 guitars, bass drum, keyboards, and now we've got a trumpet player. And we've got a lot of interesting surprises, and it's a completely different show from the last time we were here. But we changed. Flansburgh rearranges the set list pretty much on a nightly basis.
Yeah, with the Kurt Ram, the trumpet player, just came in onto the tour a couple of days ago, so we were kind of honing in one thing, and now we've got all these extra kind of trumpet songs in the mix. So there's a lot of variety, and we actually, for the first time ever, it's not an acoustic part of the show because there's actually electronic drums which is a very odd sort of top spin on an unplugged segment. But we have at the top of the second set, we have a portion of the show called The Quiet Storm, where it's always stormy.
Yes. For lovers.
Yes. And we play some songs from the 1840s, and
that's actually true. We play a song from the 1840s,
and we play a song that's about 1844.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you again for being
Thanks,
here
Maggie.
today.
What a pleasure.
Yeah.
We'd love to come back.
Yeah. Pleasure was ours.
Yeah.
Thank you. And as mentioned, we're going to hear one more song, and we're going to do that last giveaway and let these guys get out of here, get some rest before the show tonight. Thank you again.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to post this now.
Okay.
Finish. Ding.